possesses the UFOs. Little green men aren't a threat to us, as far as we know. We need to be concerned about the hostile civilization on the other side of the world. We may probably believe White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre when she claims that the aircraft the US has recently shot down are not from an alien civilization, even if it is best to never accept her word for anything. She did, however, give herself some leeway when she stated that there is no sign of extraterrestrial activity, showing the weasel word habits of someone whose job it is to skirt the truth. If she is mistaken, then we are experiencing near encounters of the most unpleasant kind as our alien guests discover more information about the F-22's cockpit than they probably intended to. Poor E.T. won't be calling anywhere, including home. The embarrassing national security debacle surrounding the Chinese spy balloon incident seems to have rapidly turned into a national spectacle. As a result of allowing a sophisticated Chinese surveillance balloon to fly the whole length of the country, we are now scrambling the jets almost every time a young child releases her helium balloon at a birthday party. Perhaps the latter targets we shot down were Chinese or Russian, deserving of being eliminated with severe prejudice. Perhaps they were errant research or commercial objects that were going about their business before having a terrible day. The future? The government either doesn't know or isn't saying. Really, you can't hold China responsible for eavesdropping. That's what all states do, and the spy balloon is a drop in the bucket compared to Beijing's ongoing, wildly successful, all-encompassing endeavor to steal every piece of military and industrial information we possess. You can't blame them for lying either because it's one of their strong suits. You should take Beijing's assurances that its labs had nothing to do with the development of COVID-19 to the bank if you think the Chinese balloon was an off-course weather gadget that China simply neglected to mention to us once it crossed our sovereign land. No, we alone aren't to blame for this failure. How is it possible that the most advanced culture in human history is unable to follow rudimentary aircraft technology from the 18th century? It is referred to as a domain awareness gap by the commander of NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command. Evidently, the radar surveillance filters were not configured to pick up objects moving slowly and at strange altitudes. Fine. Adjustments to surveillance and countermeasures are a constant cat-and-mouse game. But why weren't such adjustments made if, as NORAD claims, it only heard of earlier intrusions from the intelligence services after the fact? Why were China-related strategic documents silent on this vulnerability? These questions must be addressed by Congress. The administration appears to have intended to conceal the ball at all costs, but in this instance the ball occurred to be 200 feet tall. It appears likely that the Chinese surveillance balloon would have been permitted to complete its mission without anyone in the US government making a peep in public about it if private individuals had not expressed concerns about a weird object in the sky 2 weeks prior. That is outrageous if it is true. Obviously, the bold Chinese overflight may have been done to put President Joe Biden to the test. Although it was appreciated that he called off the meeting between President Xi Jinping and Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the balloon was only deflated after much deliberation. The new Top Gun, Maverick's stance towards so many additional unknown objects seems to be an implied admission that the initial response was too slow when it actually mattered. If it takes the balloon to force us to take the Chinese threat more seriously, so be it. But it's not like that threat is brand new or has previously been kept a secret. In fact, China recently eclipsed the United States in terms of the number of IBM launchers it possesses. Little green men aren't a threat to us, as far as we know. We should be more concerned with the hostile culture on the other side of the world than about balloons. That's today's latest news. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that this channel can continue to exist. Thank you for listening to the end and I hope it's useful.